Broadcasting from the World Conference Center in Bonn, Germany, Solutions Review is on location at the FME User Conference 2023, the peak of data integration. Brought to you by Safe Software and Terra.
It's Doug Atkinson, and we are back here in Bonn, Germany at the peak of data integration event, and we're speaking with Kim Klüver, GIS analyst at Gasnetz Hamburg, a local utility. Tell us a little bit about what the Gasnetz Hamburg does, and then we'll get into a little bit about your role there.
All right, thank you. So Gasnetz Hamburg is the company in Hamburg to maintain and operate the gas grid, so the supplying grid. We have private customers, we have industrial customers, and we're making sure every customer gets gas all the time. And my role is in the Department of Asset Management. So we make sure that we have all the information about our assets. Like on our GIS team, we document the assets, like where in the ground the pipes are, and also do some strategic planning for the future, like where to maintain the grid and where to extend it, where not to extend it.
Yeah, and this is where FME is a unique solution in that it can really take advantage of the geospatial data that you're capturing with all of the physical infrastructure that Gasnetz has around.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, FME is a perfect tool to combine the spatial data and non-spatial data that, of course, we also have from like SAP systems. And we can get the data from different systems and just answer all the questions we have about it. So that's perfect.
So you're supporting people who are trying to make decisions based upon some of the data that you're able to analyze. Talk a little bit about how that works internally. So you're put on projects, or they're coming to you with questions, or they're giving you some directive around something they need to understand?
Yeah, so it's more, they have a question and they come to us and say, can you help us with this? Do we have data on this? And then I go and build the workflows. For example, some colleagues of mine are thinking about, okay, we have a district heating grid in Hamburg also, so not us as a company, but there is one. And for the future, it will be extended. So we have to think about, is it worth maintaining the grid in that area, or where to maintain it and where not. And so I used FME to tell them which of our assets are inside those areas, for example, and so they can make the decision of what to tell the people that go out and do the actual work on the pipes, like where to go first, or
So how much data is coming in that is kind of adding to your assets of data? I mean, are you constantly getting new inputs, and how is that being captured, and how does it get to you?
There's a whole lot of data, and we have many systems. So sometimes people on the field, they even take pictures or like have defects, and some people call and say it smells like gas, and so there's a system that captures these information, and then once a month we run
like
a workspace.
Coordinates and so forth.
So the people call, and then someone can go out and help them, and then later we take that information, run a workspace, and integrate it into our GIS system, so that later we can know where the defects have happened, and maybe also take that into account for maintenance work, for example.
Right. So understanding where there might be some issues in the future, predicting.
Yeah, we're also looking into that, actually. We want to do a prototype of maybe predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance, yeah. Interesting. So you're here. I mean, it's a relatively short trip from Hamburg. Tell us a little bit about what you get out of an event like this.
Yeah, so for me it's been great. It's my first FME event, actually. I've met some nice people. I've attended a training with FME and Python, and also attended the hackathon. It was really fun. It was cool to work together with other FME users, get to know how they use it. I learned some new things. And I also find really interesting that you can integrate ChatGPT now. I think
Right.
it will be really helpful.
So talk about that a little bit. So, generative AI, ChatGPT is obviously the kind of easiest version of generative AI to kind of think about for us laymen. I'm curious how you think about the future of data and how it might impact the work that you get to do.
Yeah, so for example, my group at the hackathon, we spent like 3 hours developing the workspace, getting the data, thinking about, okay, how can we combine it? How do we have to pre-process it? And then this one guy on our team, he just asked the questions we tried to answer with our workflow to ChatGPT. So actually all the work we had done in the previous 3 hours would have been answered by his 3 questions to ChatGPT.
Just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect. Like you have to be really specific to get the answers you want. And of course you have to check if it's the right data you're getting back. But I think, yeah, maybe data analysis will get easier, but I mean, you have to make sure that you have the right data in the background and so on.
Well, and I think you have to have, at least what we've seen, you have to have a certain perspective. You can't trust it completely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to question it and do some quality checks on the results. But yeah, maybe it will help us. And I also use it quite a bit when I do like Python scripting.
Yeah, so it actually can code. Yes?
Yeah.
Do you consider, I mean, are you comfortable with what you see coming out of it for the code?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I can use it to do simple analysis, and I find it helpful if you have a lot of data, so it can be faster. And ChatGPT actually can be really helpful, I think, because you can get the exact example you need, because you don't have to find an example that is similar, but you get the answer for your specific question. I think that's really cool. And also with FME, helping you with your specific task in that moment.
So when did you first become familiar with FME?
I think about 2017. My colleague, he told me about the tool, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe you want to look into it. Maybe you can use it for us internally," because we had a lot of external colleagues doing the work with FME for us because we had no internal skills. And so, I looked into it and Googled around and tried a lot of stuff. And then later I took a course for the server authoring, so it's Flow now.
Flow, yes.
Yeah. And with my IT colleagues, we have some schedules we're running there every night to get the data from one system to the other. So, we use
And so as you've come up to speed, has it been... So you've gone to some training, but how else have you used? Are you using the community features that they have? And
yeah, I think the community is really cool because it's really accessible and there are a lot of questions and examples.
Yeah.
So, it's quite
That's
helpful.
interesting. Well, this is really, exactly the reason why we like to chat with folks like yourself, because you have real practical examples and you're using it every day.
Yeah, almost every day.
Wow. Right. Well, this was great. Thanks very much for
so
swinging by. We appreciate it. Best of luck with the rest of the show, and certainly best of luck with all your work at GasNet Hamburg.
Thank you.
Thanks.